Righto, g'day. It's currently 5:40 in the morning. I woke up at 5 and was just sort of chilling in bed. And then I decided, on a spontaneous whim, let's go shoot the sunrise. The weather right now is a bit cloudy, so it's kind of anyone's guess how the sunrise shoot's going to go. From a quick little Google stalk, I found this nice little location in Brighton that's near one of the spots that I shoot in Brighton. So if it's a shit location, we can always move to the other one. So it's a nice little fallback. I'm going to go finish, get ready, pack my camera gear, and we're going to head off because I've got an hour to get there and it's about 40 minutes away.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like.
That's a bit too loud for 5 in the morning, no thank you.
Sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right?
I don't know if it'll show up on camera. Yeah, you can kind of see it. It's raining right now, so not a good start, but hopefully once we get there we can do something with it. Either way, we'll get some bangers. They'll either be moody and wet, or they'll be a nice sunrise and wet. How you going, old mate? How you doing? Yeah, good on ya.
Elimination, gotta go to Google for the information. I'm a superstar, so I gotta shine. Top dollar be the bottom line. Bottom feeding niggas out of line. Turn your heart rate to a dotted line. Yeah, my zodiac probably $sign. Got the energy to win it, my nigga, I'm feeling great.
Righto, so I just got to the location. The first location I tried didn't work out because there was no entry signs and I don't feel like breaking the law for some photos today at least. So I reckon I'll go get my camera gear out, I'll go get it set up on the tripod and we'll go get some shots. Alright, so I've moved my camera to this location because if you can see on the viewfinder on the screen, you can see that you got a bit of that bush foreground. It just sort of separates the picture and adds layers, and it just makes it look overall pretty gosh darn mint. One thing to keep a note is my headlight is out, so I'm trying to make that not too obvious in the picture. I might have to do some retouching in the final to make it look not so shit. This one's on a 1.4 because I want to get that that blur of the foreground and add layers. I'll have to get rid of that light post in post because I'm not liking the look of that. And we'll just have a look at it again. And that's pretty gosh darn good. I'm happy with that. And one thing to note is that I shoot with a CPL filter always. It just cuts reflections. If my camera would fucking focus, that'd be nice. I use a CPL filter and that cuts reflections. I usually aim for the windshield, so it just cuts right through and makes this nice little, I don't know, make it look cool, makes it look good. And then it also gives the blacks a bit of a deeper black and just like kind of smooths it all out and just gives it a nice, like, as if it's been freshly polished kind of finish. So I use Instagram to get a lot of inspiration in terms of what I should shoot and how I should shoot things. And I noticed the other day, one of the guys I follow, Raven_CRVN_again, he's posted some really good detail shots and just like close-up macros and things like that. So I definitely want to try something involving that, getting nice up close and just getting all sorts of angles. But if you aren't following Raven, I definitely suggest you do, because in my opinion he's one of the best out there in terms of Instagram car photography. So using that inspiration, let's go and get some macros and some close-ups and whatever else we can. Righto, so as in one of the pictures that he's done, it's a nice close-up of the brake rotors and calipers. Obviously, for M Sport or M Class BMW, they've got decals on the calipers, and then just overall what I've got. But for the sake of purpose and showing you how we go about it, I reckon we just get right into it, and it'll make for an okay video. So for these shots, I'm shooting on a 1.4. I want to get up close, and I want to blur, focus, things like that. What I've got on my wheels, which is pretty good, is a duty motors, that's great. But I've got embossed around the rim, so we can get some close up on that because the brake buttons aren't going to look too good. I'm just going to put some music on, get my earphones out of the car, and I'm just going to get into it and just try and take angles. And I'm just going to put yours up on the tripod there and time lapse it. Get some mid shots. one thing tonight, what you can do is you can get lower to the ground, camera wise, and that just gives the whole car like an angrier, more aggressive look. Plus if the fitment was good, and monster truck as it is right now, it'll look pretty sick. So we'll go get some aggressive ones in the front. So what we'll do now is we'll head back to mine, and I'll chuck these on the computer, and then I'll give you a step-by-step process of how I edit my photos. Mint. So we're on the computer now. I've just put in my SD card, and I'm pretty much just going to show you how I'd go about things right from import to export. So these are the photos we want, so I'll just select that, add it to a collection. I'd probably just go by today's date, 8th the 10th 2019, and add a little key tag, YouTube sunrise shoot, I don't know, something like that. And then make sure it's going to be saved where I want it to, which is on my media drive. So that all looks good. So we'll just import it. Righto, so it's all imported. I've realised with the recording software that I'm using that you can't actually see my mouse, which is a bit shit. I'll have to fix it for next time, but for this time we'll just deal with it. So I'll click over to the develop tab up top, and we'll just get started with the first image. Now instantly, right away, you notice that the horizon is off. There's a couple of ways to fix it. Normally I just click auto. We could, for example, we can grab this little ruler over here, the straighten tool, and click on one point of the horizon, drag it out to the next point, and Lightroom will do a pretty good job of flattening out like that. Looks pretty good. If you didn't want to do that, you could just click auto, and it pretty much does the same job, and that also looks pretty good. For this, what I always do and what I normally do is I've got my presets on the side. I'll try and explain my presets and like how I get the colors that I do, but honestly I don't even know. The main preset that I use is called cars desat, so I'll just bring the exposure down until the highlights aren't going to be peaking, and then it's pretty good. Now for white balance, in most cases your license plate is going to be white, and so for white balance you want to click it on a good like neutral white, maybe like a sticker on the front windshield or something like that. Something white, just click on that and that will work perfect. The highlights are looking okay, maybe they could come up a little bit more, but the shadows are a bit dark, so we just bring the shadows up until we can get detail in the body of the car. And honestly, that's pretty much how I'd leave it. That's perfect right there. And maybe if you want a bit of warmth, I'd just drag the temperature slider up a little bit more, and maybe put a bit of pinks in there like I always do. And that's looking like a pretty MangoMedia shot to me. And always export, or always crop to 4:5, because if you don't, you're just getting rid of like free real estate you could be using for your photo. One thing I might do, I don't usually do it for client photos, but for my own photos I'll do it, is I might just lower the car a little bit. Now this gets mixed opinions, I know that. It is my car, my photo. I can do it, I guess. For a client, I wouldn't normally do it unless they ask, which is never really. I'll show you the way that I go about lowering a car. I think there's other ways, but this is the way that I do it. Is I click off the picture to start with to get the first point on the pen tool, and then I come over in like a pretty horizontal line and go to the wheel and go up and follow the arch of the wheel, or of the body I guess. And this is going to be a pretty rough one because I might not keep it. Yeah, this is going to be pretty rough, but you get the gist, you get the idea. And then once that's done, you can just drag it, click off screen, and then you just click and make a rectangle around everything. Make sure you don't clip the picture or anything like that. You right click, make selection. For some reason my Photoshop makes a selection outside everything, so I have to go inverse. And click Control J to duplicate, Control T to transform it, so you can move it all. And we can just move it all down a little bit. And that's looking pretty good, I reckon. Can we see any noticeable lines? Not really, except for this little bit here we can clean up. Just want to look out for any points that maybe look a bit jagged, anything that doesn't really line up. One thing to note is that the sky will always look weird,
so that's something to look out for. What you can do, make a new layer, go to the what's it called, the spot healing brush, and you can just drag across it. And Photoshop usually does a pretty good job of just fixing all that. And we can get rid of this little line over here because this doesn't line up too well. We'll try and get rid of it, I guess. Photoshop wants to. Doesn't really want to. There we go. What we can do is we can get rid of all these lines. So I might go ahead and do that. Most of the time the picture is going to be viewed on a phone, so you could zoom out until it's about the size of your phone. And what I'm doing right now is I have my phone up against my screen and on the picture, and you just look at it and be like, can you even really tell? It's a bit of a cheap way to do it. I wouldn't normally, but for sake of the video, there's that. And we can get rid of this one down here too if we want to. And let's say we want to get rid of these posts as well. And just look at it and be like, does this look right? I reckon that looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that, but that's pretty good. So what I'll do is I will go and click on the X. It brings up this little dialog box. Click yes to save it. Then this brings it right back into Lightroom, and that's our edited version compared to our before the Photoshop and after the Photoshop edit. Now, one thing my Photoshop does is, for some reason, when I save it to go back into Lightroom, it sort of de-sharpens the picture. So I always just bump up the sharpening again, quite a bit too, and that just adds the detail back that was sort of lost. And like I've done before, 4x5, try and center it as best you can, and that's looking like a banger. Pretty happy with that, except for that little spot there, but that's okay. Righto, so now that we've got all the pictures edited that we want to keep, just click on the flag button like I did before, and then here is the batch of photos that we want to export. So we just click Control A to highlight all of them, right click on one of the images and go export, and then export up there, or go up to the file, go export. I have my own presets for exporting. For insta export, it's not the best quality. It's enough for Instagram and all that. I've got a bit of sharpening on it as well. Also got my watermark overlay there as well. So we just click export, and once that's done, this will come up, and this is all the photos exported with my watermark on the bottom and all that, and it looks pretty sick. Very happy with these actually, especially this shot. Righto, so I hope you learned a thing or two. You probably didn't, but I wasn't really trying to teach. It was just more of the process of how I get my shots and little techniques that I do and things like that. I don't know how to end this video, so I hope you enjoyed it. buddy, and I'll catch you in the next one, whenever that may be. And so have a good one. Goodbye.